What's up, family? Welcome to Taioaci, the Artistry of a Creative. And today we have a special guest from Kansas City. We got my homegirl, Angyil, in the house. What's up, Angyil?
Hello.
Alright, so before we get started, I know that on camera it could be a little bit nerve-wracking at times, at least for me. So we're gonna do some icebreakers real quick. So what I want you to do is the first thing that comes to mind, just blurt it out. Whatever I asked, one word, maybe two words if you need to. Okay, ready? Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite fruit?
Ooh.
I don't know if oof is a fruit, but okay.
Plums.
Plums?
Peaches.
You're not a fruit person?
Watermelon.
I said one.
Right, I'm sorry. You're right. Peaches.
Okay. Favorite vegetable?
Spinach.
Favorite movie?
I don't watch movies.
Dang.
Alright.
Got him. Okay. What is the song that's on repeat on your music device right now?
Ooh, Lauryn Hill, obviously.
Dang.
I love Lauryn Hill.
She went
I don't know
there.
the name of the song, but it's like I think it's when it hurts so bad.
It's just like a playlist of her.
Well, her and Kendrick and some other artist, Hobson. I really like Hobson. He's a really dope artist. He's like very honest. So yeah.
All right.
Those people,
That's good
for
stuff.
Sure.
Okay. If you had a superpower besides dance, what would it be?
If I had a superpower besides dance, it would be like to see if people are telling the truth.
Whoa.
Like, to read their minds.
Like
are
a
you,
mind reader.
Are you lying?
Dang.
Are you lying right now?
Okay, so no lying on the recording. Got it.
Oh.
All right, cool. So Taioaci is all about the artistry of a creative. All right. So what I want to be able to do is kind of get in depth about like your history and where your artistry comes from, its influences, its inspirations. So let's do like a brief background of who you are and the type of artistry that you do today.
Who am I? My real name is Angyil Mcneal. I'm from Kansas City. I moved to New York in 2010, and I was dancing out there. So it's really hard to explain myself, who I am, in like short or summarize myself.
Well, let's focus more on your artistry.
Right.
So,
as a dancer, I would say I'm an artist who wants to be used to convey the truth.
Whoa, she's going deep already. I didn't even go in deep yet.
I'm not trying to, but yes, I would definitely say that my purpose as a dancer is to convey the truth as much as I can.
So, what styles of movement are you more proficient in, or that you focus in?
Hip hop, popping for sure. I would say that for sure.
So, how long have you been dancing?
Oof, a long time. I was doing ballet, jazz, and modern for a long time. Those are actually my first loves of
Whoa,
dance.
so you were studio trained first,
Yes,
right?
I was
Let's talk a little bit about that. So,
Yes.
like, when did you start doing that? How did you get involved in that in the first place?
I went to a performing arts school because I didn't want to go home.
Okay.
And so it was my escape. And then I fell in love with it like ballet. And I trained with Alvin Ailey group, the the organization. And yes, I basically fell in love with dance, but obviously they didn't have hip hop or popping. So I went to a performing arts school, which is in Kansas City. It's Paseo. It's not a performing arts school anymore. But at that time, I went to performing arts school. But the reason why I got into dance is because I didn't want to go home. So I needed extracurricular activities, like extended day, so that I didn't have to go home because I was running away from a monster at home.
It was like a positive escape for
Right,
you.
right,
Okay. But
absolutely.
this wasn't in the urban arts at the time. This was more focused in like the studio arts.
Yes. It
Wow.
was ballet, jazz, modern.
Oh, that explains a lot why you have such understanding of your body and definition in your moves. So how did you eventually transition into like the hip hop culture?
I am from an urban community. I grew up in a very poor neighborhood. Hip hop is all around me. The music is around. There's people tagging buildings, houses all the time. So I was all around hip hop. I just used ballet to get away. Now because I was all around hip hop and my mom played hip hop, my family played hip hop
Yeah.
at barbecues and all these other things, like hip hop was already in like the culture, like in my culture. So I think I originally started doing ballet dancing to hip hop music.
No way.
And I was like, this is fun, this is cool. But at a certain point, I was like, there's some more moves that I want to experience and play around with, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to continue this creative mindset if I continue with this style of dance. Not to say that it can't be done. I'm just saying for me, I decided to break.
So what was the event in your lifetime that made you want to make that shift? That I want to be more openly creative.
I just got tired of someone telling me to move like this. Like, hey, kick your leg up this way, Batma, when you do, you have to arch your back this way. And I'm like, wait, I don't want to arch my back that way. Like, my soul is telling me to arch my back a different way because it needs to be translated properly. But they can't understand that because that's their vision, you know? So I was just like, I want to do, not even necessarily what I want to do. I want to do with my body. Like, literally, it's telling me, like, please, can you do it? And not all the time do I agree with what my body is telling me, because I'm like, no, I think this will go better with the music. And my body's like, no, we need to do this. So it was an instance of, like, me doing what my body literally said. Like, you got to do this. Like,
interesting. So when it came to like studio train and like contemporary modern ballet, how many years of that did you have?
Probably like 7.
What?
7. Yes.
That's a good core foundation of movement. So 7 years of that, and then transitioning into the urban arts. How many years have you been practicing in the urban arts?
I started, I mean, in the urban community, you do like little party social dances. But as far as like something that I was taking serious, I would say like 2010. I started like exploring that idea, and I would already like come up with concepts in my mind of doing different things. But I moved to New York in 2010. I initially moved there to be training at the Alvin, but then I decided not to. So I would say 2010 to now, which is 2007. So it's about the same.
Wow.
About the same time frame now. Oh my gosh, time flies.
That is crazy. So back home, let's just, in Kansas City, is there any like cultural or environmental, anything in that area that really influenced your movement today?
Yes, I would say so. I don't really go back and visit this place much, but there's this corner store that I remember growing up. It was on 4017 Prospect. I remember that corner store like it was like yesterday. I was a little girl, and I would always walk to that corner store, and I would see like people on the corner all the time, whether they be selling drugs, drinking, whatever. But they knew who we were as children, so they never bothered us. And no matter how bad the neighborhood was, like nothing never happened to us. So I feel like that affected me, because as strange as it may be, I felt safe in a bad neighborhood. And when my friends would come over, because I didn't think anything of it, and I would like want to invite my friends over from school, and then their parents would be like, you can't go over there no more. But in my head, I'm like, it's safe. Nobody's ever done anything to us, you know. But so I guess that has rubbed off on me in a way that no matter where I go, I'll be safe. Like, no matter what situation may be, there's people who would get shot all the time on the block that I lived on, and people would sell drugs. There would be prostitutes like going up and down the street, and burglars going into people's houses, like abandoned houses all over. But I felt safe, like things were still good. So I'm like,
so the culture in which you come from, or the location you came from, kind of gave you a sense of courage, to be able to kind of go forward in any aspect of life, and not just your dance journey, but in all areas. So like when it comes to your location and where you're from, I mean, you talk about there being a lot of violence and gang control. How has dance been, I guess you could say, an aid in that part of your journey in helping you overcome that, or not get involved in that?
Right. I don't know if I have overcome any of these situations. I think I've just used it to cope with these situations, because like they still exist, and the fact that they still exist make me a little sad, because I'm like, there's people out here dying. But it helps me cope. It helps me have hope with the situation, because I'm like, I can reach out to so many people. If I didn't dance, people wouldn't even know who I was. And there's obviously a lot of people who don't know who I am now, and which is okay. But I feel like dance is my vehicle, my car to get me to where I need to be. Like when you drive a car, you're like, okay, I gotta go in the store. All right, now I gotta go back in the car and then go somewhere else. I feel like dance is that vehicle, because if I didn't have dance, then I don't know what other vehicle I would have.
You'd just be kind of on the block.
Right.
Right.
Like I would be using obviously using my feet to walk, but I wouldn't be able to get there fast enough.
Yeah.
So dance is that transportation that makes things happen faster. My purpose is my purpose no matter what. No matter if I was going to dance or not dance, but I feel like dance helped me move faster in my purpose, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. So within your dance, because like when I watch and I see the clips that you have online, as well as seeing you live and in person, you have such a unique approach to your movement. Mm-hmm. So I understand that you're from like a hip hop freestyle background, but also in a funk styles background. Mm-hmm. So which came first, and which one kind of stuck more prevalently?
And you said funk style?
Yeah, or I guess you could say a popping influence.
I would say first. I can't even say. I think
kind of simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially because I grew up from Parliament. I grew up listening to all of these awesome artists, Earth, Wind and Fire, as well as Busta Rhymes, Common, Talib Kweli, all of these artists as a little girl. So now when I talk to people about this, like,
you had a diversity of artists involved.
So Average White Band, like all of these, Prince. Yeah. Like my mom was like really into music, and she would blast the music at like 5 o'clock in the morning, like blasting it. So I had no choice but to learn the lyrics, like, cause like it was playing in my psyche. Like, oh my gosh, Prince.
Yeah.
Hi, Prince. Good morning, Prince. Yeah. But so it was just interesting because I had no choice, because her passion was music. It naturally rubbed off on me because I was in the house or where she was living in. So my passion was dance. So our passions kind of collided in a way, and she influenced me through her choice of music that she listened to.
That's interesting.
So I dance to all types of music because she loves all types of music, which is beneficial to me because when rock and roll comes on, like, I'm able to dance to it because my mom literally listens to all types of music. Yeah. At the time, I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of annoying. But now I know how to, like, relate to so many different types of people as well because of the different types of music.
So you were exposed at a young age to all ideas of music, but then also different interpretations of movement itself, right? Now, along that way of your artistry and movement, was it just like self-discovery, self-taught, or was there any teachers and mentors along the way?
As far as hip-hop and popping, no. But, I mean, I went to, there was like a small scene in Kansas City at the time, but I was poor. Like, I wasn't able to, like, consistently go to these classes to even be, like, awarded a mentor, because nobody's going to take me to these studios because it costs gas money. Cars is broke down, like, you know. Yeah. So, and I was a little girl, like, I could catch the bus by myself. So it was just easy for the people who were guiding me just say no. Like, no, you can't go. We don't have the money. We don't have the whatever. And so I had to, like, make a choice. Like, either I'm going to let that, or I'm just going to I still need to grow as a person. But the answer was no. I mean, I have little people that have talked to me, like, about things, but somebody who's, like, consistently been my mentor with hip-hop and popping, no. Yeah,
so it's just, like, tips and tricks here and there, but for the most part, it's self-taught.
Right, but not even, like, physical tricks. Yeah. It would be something like, we see what you're going through, like, you know, because, I mean, a lot of people knew a lot of... They didn't know me personally, but they would see in situations, or they would be like, oh my gosh, she's less fortunate. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but people would say stuff like, you know, it's okay, like, you know, whatever, you know, and those things were helpful. So as far as hip hop and popping, no. Yeah. But as far as, like, ballet, yes, I had a mentor, Michelle Taylor. She's super awesome. She actually, like, helped me in life. She helped me as a woman and to grow in this world and, like, understand that I can, you know, accomplish all of my goals and all of those awesome things. And Yeah.
That's beautiful. So when it comes, so maybe not mentorship, but is there anybody along the way, even if you've seen them from a distance or on television or online, that has been like a really huge inspiration to your movement today?
It's funny because I'm not saying that I've been through the worst, but because I've been through a lot, my mentors, I usually gravitate towards people who've been through a lot because I feel like they can understand
Interesting.
where I
Who are some of those people?
My sister. My sister, she dropped out of middle school and she took care of us. So like there's a lot that comes along with that, and she really like was a strong person in my life to let me know, like, never give up, like I mean, I see people who do great things as celebrities, but like I have my sister right here that's doing these same things that these celebrities are doing, and she's doing like it from a less fortunate like perspective. Like she's a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and she's busting her butt like a 30-year-old at a corner store cleaning cans so that she can get food for her little brothers and sisters, staying home from school so that we could go to school, making sure that we're waking up on time. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't see people doing it. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
But my sister's just done so many great things at such a young age.
Yeah.
So I think my expectations are like a bit higher as far as like mentorship.
Yeah.
Not saying that people aren't great, because they are.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my sister has been like a great hold in my life.
So a huge inspiration for you is a lot more of your family than it is like externally outside of that, right? That's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah. So like when it comes, so you've learned a lot of like your work ethic, your life approach, and that how has that helped you within your artistry of dance, or how has artistry of dance helped you in your approach of life, or simultaneously?
I think that my life has helped me with dance because my sisters literally, like, they were hard on me, and my brothers were really hard on me. They told me, like, never settle, like, and they didn't, like, they were hard workers, and they would go through pain, but they would still work, and they have families now and they work hard for their families, and they tell me, like, never sell out, like, never do the easy way out, and never do things just because for money. Like, have your morals and your character intact. And I'm not gonna say that it's always easy, but I just remember my sister actually doing it, so it's not like she's telling me something that she hasn't done. So like when I look at all of those times where she literally, you know, like, didn't even experience a teenagehood because she wanted to make sure that her little brothers and sisters are okay, I'm like, there's no, I cannot like do these things that are like not gonna be beneficial to humanity even, like. So my sister, I'm going back to that.
No, that's
she's
cool.
Definitely like, yeah. So that's how it affected my dance, because no matter what, I'm like, you gotta train, even if you're tired. Like, your sister was tired too.
Yeah.
She was tired. She had to dust off those canes. I know she didn't want to. She was a teenager. She would rather be hanging out with her friends. Like, but you gotta train. If this is what you're gonna do, if this is your career, you're gonna work hard at it. Period. If not, pick another career, but you're still gonna have to work hard at something.
Yeah.
So that has translated in my life because I saw it firsthand. So it translated with my dance, because I'm like, you gotta work hard. There's no other option. There's no other option but to work hard.
Oh man, so that's so beautiful how a family influence. I mean, and also too, because I think that we forget how one struggle, and whether we going through it or overcoming it, it can be such an inspiration to other people and people that we don't even know that are watching, right? So how do you aspire for your journey of artistry, but also your life? How do you aspire that it will touch others in that ripple effect?
I hope that it inspires people, like, in a way. How do I say this? When I was a little girl, because I had been through so much, people would tell me, like, it's gonna be okay. I would look them in the eye, like, no, it's not. Like, nothing you can say is gonna, like, make me believe anything. At a young age, I think I was jaded when it came to suffering. I just knew that my life was gonna be full of suffering. Like nobody could tell me that it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give up.
Yeah.
Day in and day out, every day, like every minute, every hour, I was like, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I had to like reassess myself every hour and say, you can't give up. You can't give up. Usually people is like, okay, a week, and then they feel like they want to give up again. No, mine was daily because I was seeing negative things. I was experiencing negative things. I was like, so there was things happening after things happening after things. So it was tough. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it out of the hood. There's no way I'm going to make it out of these experiences. I'm always going to be this, and I'm going to turn into a drug addict or a prostitute or whatever, because that was my surroundings.
That was your environment. Do you mind talking a little bit about, and you don't have to go, you can go as deep as you want, but about any of your personal struggles or things that you've seen, things that really made you feel the way that you're talking about?
I was surrounded by drugs, and I knew where, everything, I knew how to maneuver. Though I was a pretty happy child, even throughout all these situations, I still knew where to
you knew how to be resourceful.
Absolutely, because it was around me.
Yeah.
Like I mean, kids know. Like they might not say nothing. That's why it's really important to watch what you do around kids. They might not say nothing. Like they'll be like, they'll look at something and they'll look away. Like they won't say that they saw it, but they saw it.
Kids are watching all the time.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's like, because I saw all of that, I didn't tell them like, hey, I'm thinking about this, or hey, I saw that.
Yeah.
I would just be like, if I need to, I know where to get it because I saw that situation happen. So those situations have affected me in such a way that I'm like, holy snaps. I was going through a mental war every day. Every day I got out of school, here we go. As soon as I turned the knob, opened the door, like, so it was just tough.
Man.
But God is awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, you've done some incredible things in the journey that you've had, and I think it's kind of interesting to hear, because I had no idea of the things that you've experienced when you're younger, and to see where you are now. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't see that on a surface level.
Right.
So for you, is there anybody, maybe inspirations or influences that you've seen go through similar struggles that are out there and doing it, or that you connect really well with, that has just been an encouraging voice for you in your artistry?
In my artistry.
And whether that be dancers or singers or just people that they've been through some stuff, and it's been a good motivation for you to keep moving in your artistry as well.
It's so strange to just say that, because I know I know so many people that have been through certain things, and it's beautiful. But when I think of someone who's maybe had the same exact lifestyle, or it's hard for me to be motivated.
Yeah.
Me personally, it's hard for me to be motivated if I feel like someone can't relate to me to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm not saying that these artists haven't been through what I've been through.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't talked about it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect example. I'm speaking to myself when I say what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why it's so good for us to talk about our things that we go through, because we could help people.
And you never know who needs to hear that story.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But because maybe artists haven't talked about that vulnerable part of their life, or maybe I just haven't researched it enough to know. But I'm trying to think, like, someone who...
Man, if it doesn't pop into mind, that's okay.
Nothing comes to mind, but I'm sure that if I, like...
Because I always find, too, that when I talk to people about this stuff, is that it's not necessary, especially in, like, a cultural... like a culture of art, is that it's not necessarily one person. Like we all have our brokenness.
Absolutely.
And kind of being involved and surrounded by other artists that that their art is coming from a place of hurt as well.
Right.
And them being able to not only cope with it, but get through it, get over it. Kind of being surrounded by a community like that is an inspiration itself.
Absolutely.
So maybe we could talk a little about that. How has the community itself been an inspiration for you?
I would say the community that most influenced me first, I would say New York. I'm from Kansas City, but some things happened when I would battle they said that I wasn't from there. It was just like a big dilemma. But I felt like New York like accepted me with open arms, and it was super encouraging, like super honest. Like even if it hurt, they were real with me.
Yeah.
They would be like, you know, this or this, even if it hurt my feelings. And I come from a family where people are super honest with you, even if it hurts your feelings. So I appreciated that. I took two things that were super relatable to me, like important to me. My family is extremely important to me. They tell me their honest opinion. They tell me all of these things. People in New York immediately told me their honest opinion. So that I appreciated that, and I related that naturally to my family.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of my friends in New York, super supportive, super nice. Like they would give me the shirt off their backs, and I would do the same for them.
Yeah.
Super nice, like.
And you could see that in your style too. It's very like raw, authentic, and honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's just authentically like who you are. It's not really like a sugarcoat. And now that you're explaining all these different influences, I can see where they came from. And it's very difficult for an individual to be able to express who they are honestly, especially within an art form like dance.
Right.
So like, has that been an uphill battle, or has that kind of been the journey itself? Is just you being you and expressing?
I've never really thought about how that has been hard until people told me, because I've lived with people who've been honest with me like all of my life. Like my family has not really lied to me and told me like, yeah, you should, you know, that is great. You know, they told me like, actually that's horrible. It's probably like,
that's
you know.
whack.
Yes, and so when people say like that kind of stuff, I never was able to understand what they meant at an earlier journey of my life, but now I am, because I've witnessed people lie to me about different things, or I witnessed people lie to other people, like that's their friends, and then I hear them say like, it wasn't that good. I'm like, why didn't you just tell your why did you just to them, you know? But because you know, in Hollywood there's this like so I don't know. I
feel like that definitely translates in your movement. Like, it's, if you don't like other people being dishonest, why am I gonna portray a dishonest me?
Right.
Like, I have to be true and real and who I am in my movement, or else I'm just lying to everybody else. Yeah, that's.
Who am I fooling?
That's right. Tell them.
I'm not fooling nobody. Like,
when it comes to that topic, because I think it's a difficult thing, honestly, for people to just be true to who they are. What are some words of encouragement that you would tell people of like how to find themselves, how to be honest with their expression, whether it be in dance or not in dance? How do people really be real with themselves?
Something that has helped me is to understand there's nothing I can do like about who I am as far as who I am, meaning that I am this person because of the journey and the people that have affected my life. So I might as well embrace it, because that's not going to change. Like, unless it's a change for a upgraded version of me, that's one thing. But literally, people pretend to not be something because they don't want people to deny them for whatever reason. But like, you are literally yourself for a reason. So there's no reason to pretend to be somebody else.
Right.
So I think that once we become more confident about who we are as people, it'll be easier to accept that this is who we are, and it is okay.
Yeah,
like,
that's beautiful.
Even if people don't like you, even if people are like, oh my gosh, she's ugly or he's ugly, like, okay, like, what can you do about it? Like, you might, the easier you...
It's like accepting who you are.
Right. You might as well, because there's nothing you can do. Like, you can pretend, but that is a harder job than just being who you are.
That's good.
That's pretending and putting on this like facade. That
it's like more stressful to pretend.
That takes a lot of work. Like every day, when I think about myself, I'm like, the best part of being me is that I don't have to try.
Yeah, that's good.
This is who I am. Like, I don't got to think about, if I was this person, would I like talk like this, or would I sit up like this, or maybe I would like, this is who I am. And I don't got to think about like what my next move is, because I'm me. So I'm gonna just be natural and just give my next move.
That's beautiful. My wife and I, we always tell the kids in our community, especially when it comes to competition, that we'd rather see them lose being themselves than win being somebody else.
Right.
And I think in this world of especially competition, battles, it's very easy to like want and desire those things and then lose yourself in the process.
Absolutely.
So what would you tell someone that's in a competitive culture within their artistry on how not to lose themselves?
Remember why you started. Remember why you started, because it's so easy to lose yourself, because we start because something helps us feel loved, or we're trying to get away from something, or we want love to be brought to something, and then we realize, oh my gosh, I can make money off of this. Then we become our motive becomes perverted.
Yeah,
we can make money off of this. Oh, I can be famous. Oh, I can be popular. Like, but initially the reason why you started is because you just wanted to feel love. But because you found out that you can make money and do all and get like famous from social media, your motive literally became perverted. So I really think that people need to remember like the real reason of why they started. Now, if you started because you wanted to get famous, then that's, you know, obviously different. You're just gonna go as far as your motive,
and that never ends, because you can always have more likes and more followers and more money, you know?
And those are not the people that are actually like pushing the culture as far as like challenging the culture. It's like, okay, you know what, we need to create something new because this is not feeding my soul anymore.
Yeah, that's
you know,
good.
Those are people that are like, okay, I'm content with the followers and the money. I'm not really content with pushing the actual dance and the culture itself.
Yeah. So when it comes to, you know, for you and your journey, what made you start?
I was trying to get away from the mess in my life. So I was like, I'm not going home. So initially, like, there was a lot of stuff going on in my life and at home. And it's funny because I was literally escaping from going home. And I got introduced to dance. But now I feel like dance is my happy place. It gives me hope. So the world and all the negative things is my home, what my home used to be when I was a little girl. My home was like very chaotic. A lot of stuff was going on. Now, as an adult, I find that this outside world and all of these things that are going on, killings, rapings, all of this, that's my home. And dance is my peace. It helps me, like, dance, all right, cool. All right, I gotta go home. Like, I gotta go home because that's where I have to be. So dance helps me build up the hope to know that I can change my home now. Like, I can change my home because now my home is here, and now I can be like, you know what? Unfortunately, this stuff is happening, but we're gonna make a difference. And I use dance to make the difference.
That's
dance
beautiful.
Fuels me to make the difference.
That's beautiful. Now, I know that there's like 1,000,001 things also that you do outside of dance. I think it's so, I always say, you know, what we learn on the floor, we have to apply it off the floor. And you're an individual that does that and beyond. So what are, like, briefly, because there's like a ton of things that you do. What are some things that you do, some practices, some hobbies, some passions that you do outside of dance that you practice on a consistent basis?
I try to go outside often. No matter where I am, I try to go outside because I feel like we can be inside so much, but I don't know, I just have this strong belief that we're so connected to nature. And sometimes if we spend like long amounts of time like away from it, I don't know, I feel like this disconnect. I don't know.
That's good. It may not be true. Regrounding yourself into it.
It may not be true, but this is just something that I feel.
Yeah.
So like in the mornings, I usually, like when I'm back at home, like I'll go outside and I'll just eat breakfast and I'll sit on the concrete and I'll just eat breakfast and I'll look up and I feel like it keeps me grounded because anybody is capable of being arrogant, prideful, and all of these things. Anybody is capable. Nobody is too good to be any of these things. But I feel like going back to those moments where I'm like there's so much stuff around us. There's the birds, there's nature, there's trees, who's literally been here longer than us. Yeah. But we find a way to be selfish. But experiencing and looking at like the grand scheme of things really helped me like understand like nobody has no reason to be arrogant or prideful. Like this tree is older than you. This tree has more knowledge than you.
That's beautiful.
Like, and you're arrogant and you're prideful and you know it all. Like, no way. Like, no way. So I feel like that helps me also in my everyday life, because I understand like I don't know everything.
So nature and like walking or so. What are some other
Walking.
art forms or crafts that you're involved in?
I sew. I like to sew because I like to like.
I like how you describe it. This is how I sew.
With my
right
hands,
here.
right? My hands. I don't know why, but like if my hands are busy, like my mind is calm.
Okay.
So
you have a clothing line or a hat line, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. It's inspired from I do a lot of African prints and different other ethnic prints, but it's really cool because the reason why I decided to do it is because I found that I love African music. It's like
Influence,
beautiful.
yeah.
I love the drums, and when people sing, like when I hear their voice and their struggle and the pain.
And you're a
I
singer
love
as
that.
well, right?
Sometimes only on Tuesday. No, yeah, I do sing. I do sing, but yeah. So I sing and I sew and yeah.
What's the name of the line again?
Actually, an awesome friend of mine helped me figure out the name.
My wife and I helped her with this. We helped her with the name of the line. That's why I asked.
Yes, and the name is called Halo.
Hey.
So it's a hat, and it's Koofy hat.
You get it? Angel, halo, hats.
And so it's awesome. They just like came up with it, and I was like,
Oh, I love
okay. It was awesome. It fit perfect. So the name of the line is called Halo, and I'm super excited about it. I freaking love making clothes, and the reason why I came up with this line is because I'm like, we need to like pay homage.
That's good. That's
and
good.
I feel like this is my way of paying homage while still offering something new, because my clothing line consists of designs from the way people wear modern day clothes, but the prints are much older.
It's like celebrating roots and tradition
Absolutely.
in a new generation.
But in a new generation, because not all the time do people want to wear robes, and that is perfectly fine. But I tried to put two together. Like, I don't want to necessarily wear this heavy robe, but I do want to take the patterns and the awesome patterns from these clothings that they wear robes, but I want to transfer it into how we dress now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. So
cool.
you are a multi-talented individual. I love it. All right. So as we close up, I have a couple questions to wrap up. Okay. So in your journey, in your artistry, what is one of the greatest lessons that you've learned?
What is the greatest lesson?
Yeah.
I honestly would have to say that something that helps me like get through anything would be God will never leave you nor forsaken you.
Amen.
Because no matter what I go through, I say, God, you said you'd never.
You said it. You promised.
You promised. So even though I'm going through this like heavy moment, and I feel like I'm giving up, and I feel like I'm on like the last thread, and I feel like I'm ready.
That's
but
beautiful.
The fact that I know God said He'll never,
Yeah.
no matter what, never leave me nor forsake me. Like in my head, I'm like,
That's
I gotta fight for it. Like.
So that's been a driving force for you.
Yes, I will never leave you nor forsake you, no matter what you.
That's beautiful.
No matter how hard it is.
Wow. And I feel like a lot of people need to hear that, in not just in art, but in their journeys in general.
Right.
It's so easy whenever you take on any new position in life to want to just kind of throw in the towel. So I think that's beautiful. It's a beautiful mantra, scripture to be able to really carry on in life, to have that motivation to move forward. Okay, so the next question is what's one word? You can only have one word. One word to describe your artistry.
I would have to say love.
Ooh, why would you do that?
I would have to say love.
It's too deep. That's so good. Okay. So with your art, what's one thing that you aspire to do or to help and contribute to the world with your art?
To realize that we are so much in common.
Oh, that's good.
Like, I feel like there's this conflict between men and women now.
Yeah.
There's this obviously there's been the conflict of different races
Yeah.
that are still, it's getting better, but still some work to do. But now I feel like there's this thing obviously with like equal rights and all that other stuff. I feel like there's such this conflict, but if we would just listen to each other and understand, like, we have more in common than we don't.
That's beautiful.
And if somebody doesn't agree with you, you don't have to fight them or punch them in the mouth or punch them. Like, it's okay if people have a different opinion or a different mindset than yours, but you can still like live in the same area and have peace. But yeah, I think that's the reason why there's a lot of conflict and a lot of wars, because people can't accept other people's opinion while still functioning alongside them. It's like you have to believe my opinion. You have to follow my opinion.
Right, like, why can't the world just dance it out?
I know, right?
You know?
Like, why can't
if you
you just
disagree,
battle?
why can't like countries just battle it out?
Right. And whoever wins, then.
Well, I don't know if that would go, because then the subjective opinion wins. You know what I mean? And then there's politics and the judging.
Battling couldn't work. That's the solution of conflict.
But it would be a great show.
It would.
Absolutely.
It would be a really good show.
Oh my gosh. All right, so you do all these things: dancer, singer, fashion designer. How can people get in contact with you? How could they connect with you?
I have a page on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or in Google. You can look me up under the name of Angyil, which is pronounced Angel, and everything should pop up.
Awesome. Yeah. And one last thing for the viewers and people watching, some words of encouragement for them to keep going in their artistry.
Words of encouragement to keep going in your artistry. The world needs you. You have a purpose that only you can fulfill, and if you give up now, then you're like letting the world like kind of deal with things by themselves. But there's something that you can offer that nobody else can. So it's important that you are the one who makes your invention come alive. So don't give up.
That is wonderful. Man, from Kansas City, Angyil in the house. Man, it's been so good. Oh, okay. Get it. Oh, man. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and checking it out. Make sure to email us. The email is somewhere in the description. Whatever it is, just let us know what your thoughts, and also if there's other people that you want to be able to hear from and about. And we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Taioaci. Boom!
That was fun.
That was awesome.
Fun for everyone.